Hello there everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids and happy St. Patrick's Day to you all the way from here in Ireland, where I'm not actually doing anything. I'm just having a lazy day. But it's authentic because I'm Irish, so it is. By definition, I can do no wrong. Amazing, the best. But what are we talking about here today? Well, I woke up to this comment here this morning. OMFG, Nub can see the future. We've got two huge events cropping up in the event tab right now that are starting tomorrow. First of all, the Festival Titan event is starting actually earlier than I thought it would, but the Path of the Clover, yes, is going to have a guaranteed champion in it. Let's dive in. Let's take a look. So let's look at the Path of the Clover first, shall we? So this starts tomorrow at 9 a.m. UTC. That's Monday, the 18th of March. And then it's going to run until Friday, the 22nd of March at, again, 8 a.m. UTC. It is going to be a summoning event as well. Summoning souls from soulstones and summoning champions from shards. So this is likely going to depend probably on the quality of the champions and the souls. I mean, I guess we'll find out for sure. Is it like a summon rush, which is the quality of the shards? Or is it like a champ chase, the quality of the champions? Yeah, I guess we'll find out. It's probably easier if it's a summon rush type event. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, so it's running the whole week through. There'll obviously be another summoning event then next weekend. We do know, by the way, they said there's 3 big events happening in March. And let me take a quick look at the calendar here. Yeah, interesting. Hang on. Go away, go away. We'll do an antivirus scan in a second. Hang on, the safety last. So yeah, we're gonna have this St. Patrick's Day thing on for these few days. There's 2 other weekends. There will almost definitely be a Deck of Fate event. They've said there will be a Deck of Fate event during March. That's gonna be tying in with the Titan event, which is gonna be on as well. That goes to Wednesday, the 3rd of April. So we could have another normal summon event, you know, this upcoming weekend, maybe a bit more chill, and then maybe a Deck of Fate event tying in with a summoning type event as well. That could easily happen too, which would quite likely contain Festival Titan event points. It's certainly very possible. But yeah, here we go. What do we get from this? Anyway, it's a summoning event, and this is the big thing, of course. It will include the legendary Sylvan Watchers champion, Grand Oak Padraig. If you want to say Padraig, it'd be like paw, like an animal's paw, and then Drig. Padraig. Will also have his 5-star perfect soul and an in-game avatar with other valuable resources, including, of course, 50 fragments for the epic champion Caffrey the Deathkeeper. That's required for the Armand's the Magnificent Fusion. Of course, you could have skipped that, but certainly at least I was planning to do this Hero's Path because I said it's probably going to be expensive, and it certainly looks to me like it's going to be very expensive, but there's going to be really, really good rewards in here. And it's probably like a good strategy to have going forwards. If you're later in the game or if you're early game, but you're a spender, you know, either way, whichever way you are and you have access to a good chunk of resources, going for these hero paths and these Titan events tends to have pretty big payoff. In this case, potentially a really good legendary and a 5-star soul. Obviously, as we can see, this is why I'm saying it could be a heck of a lot, right? The Path of Clover, it's also going to have mythical tomes in there and legendary skill tomes as well. And by the way, yes, it will have Titan event points for this Titan event. So if you're looking to be pushing this Titan event up, this is really the thing to do, you know? Like, you could have skipped the other summoning events during the fusion and really focused everything on Path of the Clover. It looks like that now we know this, it looks to be a pretty effective strategy, right? It does, because you're going to be able to really maximize the best rewards, I suppose. But yeah, again, it's going to be real expensive. Like, how many shards are we talking? I mean, I'd say in other events, it might have been 20 sacred shards worth to get the legendary. That's what they've been doing recently. So it could easily be that, but then it could be more expensive for these mythical skill tomes. And then you've got the 5-star soul in there as well. Like, I mean, it could be something nuts. Like, it could be because you can summon soul stones to do this too. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if to do it with just sacred shards, it was something insane like 50, right? you know, 25 for the champion plus some tomes along the way, and then like another 25 for the soul. Like, this could be super, super, super expensive, and especially because there's been incredibly good packs, like compared to, you know, usual pack values that they've been selling as part of as part of this anniversary celebration. Like, there's been stuff going like crazy. So let's look at him, and then we'll talk about the Titan event. So just to quickly talk about him, I think the second episode isn't out yet on like the must build legendaries, but for me, I am rating actually these ally attack champions very highly in the game at the moment. I think visually, obviously, they've done an extraordinary job at Grand Oak Podrick. I do have a full video showcasing him as well. I think he's a top tier champion in the game, right? He's one of the best ally attacks. So it's 4-turn cooldown ally attack with the full team, and he joins in as well. So that's really good. Hang on a sec. Let me get it up. Okay, over here, so we're on hellhades.com. HH Gaming, you know, I write for this now. My first article on the spider is up, which is cool. There'll be more coming soon, I'm sure. But yeah, for ally attack, you know, I'd say the best ones, she's actually not in here, funny enough. But I would say the best one is not there, which is a slight mistake. But it would be probably Lady Mikage, coming in as the mythical. She brings you increased attack and crit damage. She brings you buff extension, debuff extension. Yeah, decreases enemy buffs as well. She sort of semi-cleanses you, the 1-turn debuff decrease on you. She's got a mini ally attack on her A1 with Shadowkin faction, which is really good. And then obviously she's got, you know, a bit of a cleanse on her passive. Got her whole second form. I would say she is the best ally attack champion. So she'd be number 1. I'd say Cardial would be number 2, because he brings a lot of good stuff. But I think Podrick isn't really that far off, right? He brings in increased crit rate, crit damage, then has the ally attack on the 4-turn. He has, you know, a full cleanse, block debuffs, and revive on death. And he heals a lot with his A1 and his passive. He's got the speed aura. So I'd say like Mikage is probably number 1, Cardial number 2. I'd say Podrick is number 3 on ally attackers, which is big. Like the other ones to note, Lanathril has the full team ally attack. So does Longbeard. But they bring a lot less than Podrick does. Their kits, like Lanathril has an AoE attack with a shield, and that's about it that's useful on his kit, but it's solid. Longbeard, I don't even know what he does. Not much, but you know, I think his ally attack does bonus damage. That's about it. Nekret's got just a 1 ally. Well, you know, whoever he protects, he can ally attack. It's not great for PvE. It's great for Arena. Kreela is not your full team. Lanikis is not your full team. Marishka is, again, a random person on her A1. Farrakhan the Fat, this is part of why Farrakhan's so good. And part of why Morag's so good. She's got a smaller one as well. Farrakhan brings in everyone, but not himself. So he's really quite key, quite clutch to a lot of team comps. Right, like I use him a lot in Fire Knight, but now he's going to be sitting out. You look at Podrick, what's he bringing? Number 1, he fully restores destroyed max HP, and he heals you. Actually quite a lot of healing. Not bad. He also brings you a turn meter boost with a full cleanse and increased speed on a 3-turn. It's a phenomenal move. Really strong move. His A1 can decrease a random ally's active skills by 2 turns. He has a 25% speed in dungeons aura, which is really good. And then he's, at the start of every one of his turn, he's buffing you up with an appropriate buff for your class, basically. Sadly, he's a support. He buffs himself at increased accuracy, but nothing he does needs accuracy, which is a bummer. I think you look at his kit, he's extremely good, right? He's extremely, extremely good as an ally attacker, one of the best. Yeah, so he's super strong. I say certainly, if you have Lady Mikage already, and you've got like Lanathril, and you've got Longbeard, if you got the others built up, I think he's still worth considering because he's just simply better. But if you've got Lady Mikage and you've got Cardial, and they're both built up, you know, it's very unlikely you might need them both. But then again, you might want to focus your Lady Mikage onto Arena. You might want to focus Cardial into Hydra. And you could have Podrick. Podrick, honestly, pretty good for Hydra as well. But you could have him focus more on Fire Knight. I really do think he's well worth it. I think he's top tier. I think he's, for me, pretty much a must build. So I'm definitely going to grab him. Definitely, if you don't have Cardial, if you don't have Lady Mikage, and you're far off getting them because it takes a while. Like, I haven't got her yet. I mean, I think he's the 3rd best. Maybe he's even, arguably, he could even be better than I wouldn't say be better than Mikage, but you know, that's sort of incorporating her mythical stuff. If you're only using the one form, I mean, he's pretty darn strong. Let me put it like that. So yeah, he's well worth going for. The 5-star soul is very interesting, sort of specifically because if you are looking at Fire Knight hard, right, you really want to take down the shield. So giving him, in particular, Phantom Touch, you would, with a 5-star soul for him, get these stats. I think they're all nice, but none of them are really essential to Podrick. Like, he doesn't need the accuracy. The damage is a nice bonus. The survivability is a nice bonus, but I'd say none of it is really that essential, right? On Fire Knight, you're not really planning to get hit very much, I would say. However, you would have a 75% chance to do bonus damage with every turn that he takes, and that's pretty big because that Phantom Touch proc then becomes very reliable, and it does knock a pip off the Fire Knight shield, which is really strong. It makes a big difference to get that shield down faster and more consistently, and you get more of your freezes in on the boss. It really does make a big difference. At 6-star, 6-star is really strong for him, though. Would you do it? I don't know. Probably not. You'd probably rather be putting the 6-star soul into Lady Mikage, pretty much, you know? I guess you can't even buy her soul, can you? You have to just pull it, so never mind. That you can't. I don't think you can buy mythical souls directly yet. Never mind. But yeah, then it becomes a 100% with a 35% to do Phantom Touch twice, which again is great, and the speed bonus is super good for him. So yeah, I would obviously prioritize the champion first for sure. I do think the 5-star soul is pretty decent value. You know, it's a useful or I should say it's a useful champion to have it on. But mostly for the Phantom Touch effect, mostly for taking down the Fire Knight shield. So I think it's good. Yeah, I would say it's good, would be how I put it. But I would 100% go for the champion. I wouldn't go too crazy for the soul. It's a nice perk, but if the soul is really expensive, we'll see tomorrow, I'd be just sort of like, I'll skip that. But the champion I'd very much be in favor of, right? Like, especially if, you know, going for the soul is going to mean you can't do the next fusion, or you can't do the next guaranteed. If it's really going to put you far behind, like, having the champion is like 90% of the power, if not more. The soul is a great perk, but yeah. Speaking of the soul, the Titan event we've got coming up as well, the Festival Titan event. So that starts as well the same time tomorrow, basically, 18th of March, bang in the morning. And that goes all the way until the 3rd of April. During this, you can get Titan event points. These are clearly going to be also events that are part of this fusion, effectively, this Hero's Path, for sure. And like I said, there's almost certainly going to be a deck of Fate involved in this. There are 1,050 points in the first week. I'd say a big chunk of those are going to be in this Path event. Then another big chunk are probably going to be, you expect probably a big champ training, and you would expect summon event this weekend as well, which is going to be out of fusion. There's going to be then 700 in the second week, and once more, this is quite likely to be probably a deck of Fate. Quite possibly that deck of Fate could be a summoning event as well. So there's going to be a lot of tricky events. These Festival Titan events are not easy, or these Titan events are not easy to do. They're basically a second fusion to get the soul. So it's really for the late game player or the big spender that wants to really min-max a champion or go crazy on it. Like for 90% of people, no, even more than that, for 95% of people, in my opinion, it's far more important to just do every fusion. I wouldn't be sacrificing fusions to get souls unless like you're really, really determined to do so for a particular champion. But there's words to that song. It's no good. Yeah, for me, I'll probably try to do this perfect and split souls for Armans. Presumably it goes up to 5-star, maybe only 4-star. Yeah, so we shall see. It doesn't say quite yet, but this could be pretty big. I think Armans is looking extremely strong, and Armans, in my opinion, does benefit tremendously from these souls. The souls are very powerful in Arena. Particularly for Armans, you are probably looking to get him up to the 5-star polymorph because his passive interacts with it, and he's got a good aura. He's going to be high accuracy. He's going to be quite a scary champion to have in 5-star polymorph. A good chance to polymorph your enemy when they try to debuff him or control him. That's strong. And then his passive starts to lock them out and boosts his turn meter more. It's very strong. That's a big deal. Armans definitely benefits highly from the accuracy, and because he's an arena champion, you know, the extra speed and better chance for polymorph is pretty decent as well if you did want to bring him to 6-star at some point. That being said, if they ever nerfed Polymorph in the future, he's not quite as good. He'd be decent with Temporal Chains, I would say. You know, the extra speed control is certainly not bad on him. And obviously the accuracy on him is always going to be strong. So, yeah, I think the Arman Soul is it's similar to Ancora, really. Probably even stronger than the Ancora Soul. So that should give you a pretty good comparison. Ancora, the Soul is real nice. I'd say Arman's is probably even more impactful. But yeah, very similar to her. So for me, am I going for it? Yeah, certainly. I've got, I think, a fairly decent chunk of Soul Stones here. That's going to help. I've got a not amazing chunk of shards, but it's my birthday on Tuesday, so we might buy some and do some pulls. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm definitely going for the champion, and then we'll see. I'm not certain if I'm going to go for the Podrick Soul or not. We will see. I'm definitely going to get Podrick, 100%. And yeah, then we'll see after that. I'm almost definitely going to be trying to go for this Titan event as well. The last one wasn't so bad. I'd expect this one to be harder. The last Titan event had like a nice soul stone at the end for the 5th milestone, big reward. And all the souls were in like milestones 1 to 4, so it was fairly doable. I expect this one more to be, you know, 1 star to 5 star. And I do think 5 star really holds a lot of the benefit for Arman. So it seems like a thing you really want to do the whole thing. Yeah, we shall see. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know, what do you think about these events? What are you thinking of going for? Like I said, it's, you know, it's going to be a big deal. It's a huge commitment. It's not going to be easy, but I think that Armans and Podrick are both looking really strong. So they're both going to be, you're going to use them a ton on your account when you get them, I think. Both of them. So yeah, there you go. Curious to hear what you think. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.